Welcome to our weekend waffle. I can't remember what episode we're on today, but today we have got the biker formerly known as. He was actually called Nathan, but if you look at his Instagram accounts and YouTube, he's down as the biker formerly known as. And he's here behind me on this beautiful Z900 Kawasaki, which, to be honest, I've got a bit of a soft spot for them bikes, you know.
Well, you need to give it a run out one day.
It's got to be the most retro looking bike that has got built into it as well. It's not just, I mean, that thing, looking at it, it looks like you could scratch on it, to be honest, couldn't you? It's got the tyres and the brakes and...
Yeah, it's, you could definitely use it on a track. Got enough speed, acceleration, brakes are decent. But around town is absolutely perfect. It's just got the right balance of everything. And as you say, to me, it's a super cool looking bike. It's the retro element to it. It just makes it stand out. And the amount of people who come up to you and start a conversation when they've seen the bike because they're just so impressed with it and love the look of it, or they say it reminds me of the originals from the 70s.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a talking point when you're out at a bike show. But anytime you feel like it, yeah, you're welcome to take it out and give it a run out and see what you think.
What's the handling like then? Is it quite sharp, or is it heavy? Yeah, is it light?
No, it feels really balanced. It's the steering on it and the suspension, I'd say, straight out of the box, are set up really, really well. You can throw it around very easily. I could probably, if I was going to Snake Pass or somewhere like that, I could probably ride it quicker on this bike than I could on one of the sports bikes.
Yes.
Just because it's the riding position is so comfortable. And like I say, it's got more than enough power for what you need. So you can definitely have fun on it. Let's put it that way.
Thing I find, Joe, like you were just mentioning then up at the top of Werneth Low, how bad the roads are in Manchester. I think if you've got a sit-up riding position, it does make the bike better on road when you've got poor conditions, because you kind of, I don't know about you, but whenever I'm on a sports bike and you're coming around a corner and you see a pothole, you just brace because you're waiting for that kind of bang through the front end. Where when your weight's not on the front, you can just relax so much more, and I think it handles better because of that.
Oh yeah, completely agree with you there. I've given up riding sports bikes on the road now. I just use them on the track because the roads they ain't good enough for it, and it just takes one wrong turn and you're off. And it just seems easier to fall off on a sports bike than what it does on a sit-up bike. So yeah, I'm in agreement with you there, Phil. A nice sit-up position, especially in bad weather, it's the way to go.
Yeah. So what you've got? Let's go back to how you got into bikes then. Right.
Well, it's probably 4 or 5 years older. Every Christmas I used to mither my mum and dad for a motorcycle at Christmas. It was a Pee-wee 50, which I wanted back then.
Yeah.
And every year I used to mither for one of those, but it was the only thing which they never got me. They got me everything I ever wanted and more, but the bike was just the one thing they couldn't afford at the time because it was bad times. But so when I eventually did my test, after putting it off for years and years, I've kind of gone a bit mad with it and decided to buy numerous bikes, and just seemed kind of addicted to buying bikes.
So it's all your mum and dad's fault for not buying you a Pee-wee that you have a collection of bikes. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I blame them for it, and I always used to say that to them. So it's your fault now that I've got no money because it's all gone on bikes.
Yeah.
But, I always loved bikes, and my dad used to take me to Alton Park watching the watching the superbikes when I was a kid and watching the racing there. So I've always been surrounded with it and kind of immersed in it, and that's got me interested as a young kid. And then I just wanted to ride bikes all my life, but just one thing or another got in the way, and I ended up delaying until I did the test. And then when I finally did it, I'd already bought the bike, which was the Ducati Z900, as you know. That was my first bike when I passed my test, and the story...
That is an insane bike to have straight after doing your test, to be honest.
Yeah, well, that's when I passed the test and I went back to the training centre. The guy there said to me, he said, "Oh, what bike are you going to get for your first bike?" I said, "I've already bought it. It's a Ducati Z900." And he just looked up at me and said, "You're not going to live very long, you're not." So, I thought, well, that's nice. That's confidence.
Yeah.
But I was probably the slowest Ducati Z900 rider in existence. So,
I did my CBT and was on a 50cc at first, and I remember thinking, I was only 16, but I remember thinking that, wow, I'm doing 30-40 mile an hour on a 50, and it felt fast. Just because you from before that, it's a push bike, isn't it? So in comparison, it was quick. But every time I've gone up a bike, I've got that kind of rush of the extra power going up to a 250 and then up to my T595, which was obviously 1,000. So but you've just gone straight from, what did you do your test on, a 650 and then straight to 1,000cc?
I think my CVT was possibly on the same as you, an SR125, I think. Did
you do it on an SR125?
Yeah, I think it's still on them when I did my test. And then it was a Suzuki Gladius, I think, 650.
The 650 one, yeah.
Yeah, which I think they still use now. I did it on that, and then straight off that onto a 1098 with AGV helmet and full leathers and boots on, and doing about 25 miles an hour.
Yeah. I actually saw one of those SR125s in Manchester the other day, and I was like, no way. In fact, it might have been on my vlog, I think. I couldn't believe that there was one knocking around still.
Yeah, still going.
But they were like the test centre bike. It was either them or CG 125s, wasn't it, basically?
Yeah. But I was the same as you, like you just said then, when I was doing the CBT, I went out the first time on the road.
Yeah.
And it just felt mega fast.
Is this guy going to let us round, do you reckon? Because he ain't going fast enough for this.
No, it must be pulling in here. You can pull out if you want. It's clear.
Get up to speed. So yeah, you went straight to the Ducati then as your first road bike.
Yeah, and then
what was there a point where you went, actually this isn't ideal for the road, or did you go for another sports bike again after that?
No, I then went for a Suzuki Intruder, a cruiser, which just felt alien when I got on that after being on a sports bike, because the gear change was so agricultural instead of nice and precise. But I loved it. The riding position it was just so comfortable. I had that for a while, and then that's kind of when the madness set in, and I decided to start buying about 2 bikes a year from that point onwards. And a lot of people they kind of like just one kind of genre of motorcycle, but I like everything. Apart from electric bikes, I like every type of motorbike. So I can see value.
Sports,
I enjoy all of them. So then it just became adding a bike every time I saw one which I liked, I'll kind of just go for it. And then after explain to the missus how there's another bike in the garage, she never believed me when I said it's been there for years. But just anything which something fancy I decided to go for, just because I was making up for lost time for all the years which I've lost not
years
riding.
without a bike. Yeah,
exactly. So and just went crazy with it. I did the Yamaha 60th anniversary, the R1, which you've seen. Ducati Diavel Dark, Ducati Scrambler, the old Honda CB754, the Harley Street Mob, which you've just seen, which that's actually the missus' bike. That was her first bike after passing her test. So I had to teach her to ride a bike, and I'll give her a shout out because I think this is quite impressive. She'd never ever ridden at all, and she went from there to passing all the tests first time, and she didn't get a single minor on any test. So she did amazing. It must have been the standard of teacher she had. What to do.
She enjoyed going out on the back of the bikes anyway, didn't she, prior to doing a test? But it must be so good to have someone who's riding along with you when you do these trips and things like that.
Oh yeah, it's great fun. She was a bit apprehensive at the beginning. She really loved being pillion. Said as soon as you've done your test, you'll kind of just love riding that much that you'll barely go on the back of a bike again. And she really does. She really does love it. She loves everything about biking. The going out, grabbing a coffee, the scenery, the going around touring around Wales, Scotland, over to Europe. So it's nice to have a partner who enjoys it as much as what I do as well. So I mean, like, Emily likes going on the back of the bike when I can get her out. The problem we have is just getting someone to look after the kids for a bit while we have a bit of time on the bike. But I don't think she's never wanted to ride a bike. Other than she once said she'd like to have a go at getting dirty on a bike, which is so random. She wanted to have a go at motocross, but she don't want to do CBT. So I didn't quite understand that, but I think even that idea's gone out the window now. So, but being on the back and going out together, I can imagine having someone who rides with you is even better again, Yeah, it's it makes it easy. I mean, she's always been a really good pillion anyway, so that makes it a lot easier, as you know, having somebody on the back who having Phil. It makes a difference. Someone knowing what they're doing. So she's looking forward to getting out when it gets to springtime, and probably I think we're planning on going over to try and catch a couple of MotoGPs because we're doing some back-to-back races this year. So maybe try and get like a Czech Republic and a Hungary one or something like that.
I'd over on the bikes.
Yeah, go over on the bike.
That'd be amazing. Yeah,
it'd be cool because about 2 years ago, myself and the oldest brother went to Rome. We went from Manchester to Rome, but I ended up going pillion on the back of his bike, so he rode all the way there, and we did it in about 2 days, and it was just too much. So we need to do it over a few days and spend a bit more time taking in the views, I think, rather than just racing straight down there. Yeah.
See, there's one for me that I'd love to do. Is everyone says about going to the Picos. Is it Picos de Europe it's called? Picos de Europe,
I believe so, yeah.
So North Spain. But there's a road race that they hold in a village, and I think, is it Leon that you have to go through in northern Spain, which is just on the other side of Picos. And there's this little road race, and it's the most dodgy looking race going. And they only let 125, 250 kind of GP bikes or classic 500s. They're the only bikes are allowed to race there. Just because if you put anything faster, it would be beyond dangerous. But it's literally like cones and hay bales on the edge of the pavement with a bit of warning tape strung between them. And so you stood on, literally like, imagine standing on the pavement there with a bit of plastic tape and the bike's whizzing past, That's one of the reasons why I want to go and see it as well. But I think that would be the one I would do. I'd go down through, obviously ferry over to Picos, go through Picos because everyone says you got to do it, and then go and watch that road race and head back.
Yeah, that sounds like a cool idea. I think any Euro tour you're pretty much guaranteed to have fun on. The only downside is you go through France, is when your cash card is constantly hitting the toll booths, and then you check your balance at the end of the ride and realise how much it's cost you.
Yeah. When Phil and his brothers went and did France, which we did a little video on, they went over a bridge, and they paid to go over, and they found out afterwards there was actually a lane on the far left for motorbikes, and you didn't have to pay.
Didn't have to pay.
You could just go straight through. I suppose a little bit of research before you go is worth doing.
Oh yeah. So we kind of just went about 2 days' notice. So yeah, I think if you plan it, it's definitely beneficial.
Yeah. So I was saying on a previous vlog that rather than buying a brand spanking new bike, having a series of older bikes, you could kind of have a bike that does everything. So between a classic bike, an off-road bike, a road bike, a tourer, for the same price as, say, like a brand new Panigale, you've got an older bike, but that'll do everything. A bike that'll do everything.
Yeah.
So in a way, you've got that. You've kind of got a bike that does everything between your classics and your off-roaders and your tourers.
Yeah.
Yours aren't really old. You've got some really nice new bikes. Do you know what I mean? With your Ducatis and Harley.
Yeah. I've been fortunate enough to be able to get the bikes.
Yes.
It's as you know, motorbikes now are just a ridiculous cost. I remember when you used to look in the MCN and see a brand new GSX R1000 and it was about $6,000. And now you can barely get anything for $6,000 nowadays. They're all, especially like Ducatis, you're talking 17 grand upwards of like 30 grand. It's unbelievable the price of them. So it's rare that I buy a brand new bike. I tend to buy one which is a year or two old, just lost that initial depreciation. But I spend virtually all my time thinking about motorcycling. It's just something I've got a passion for and I absolutely love. So I just try and indulge in it. I don't have kids, so I haven't got that cost. So
yeah, they definitely drain the bike budget, then they.
Oh yeah, I can imagine they would do. Yeah. So I just put all my money into bikes and then try to enjoy myself while you can, because life can be too short. So just try to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
While you can. Well, definitely.
So if you're not talking about bikes, you're riding bikes.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much it. Just if I'm either on the road or, as you know, getting into doing a bit of off-roading, or on the tracks, go and do the track training, which I love doing. Just anything at all to do with bikes. It's just any excuse to get on a bike. It's just, I just love doing it. Absolutely love it. I'm just crazy for it, I suppose.
And we had to get you on the vlog, really. I mean, the first we kind of found you was, well, it was actually you finding us in a way, because we did the treasure hunt.
Oh yeah,
which you were the one who won our second treasure hunt. So it was only after that I was like, Joe, when you look at your social media and you're like, oh, he's got a few nice bikes and he's riding them a lot. And then you came on the last year's Run to the Hills ride.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was it seemed like a great one to get you on the vlog as well. And your bike collection's awesome. It's something that a lot of people would be jealous of, those bikes.
No, I appreciate that. It's kind of you to say.
We'll have to come and have a look at my collection. All of which are probably, I think, nearly all the bikes are older than me. But yeah,
that's a good thing. Though. A classic bike, I think, has more character than a new bike.
Yes.
I think there's something about them. And my CB750, even though it's not pristine, it's not an amazing bike. I love it. As soon as you get on it, it just brings a smile to your face, and it's so comfortable as well to ride. So yeah, I'd love to come down and see your collection, definitely.
Yeah, come and have a look. I've got one that's coming up on the vlog we've just bought, or my brother's just bought. So between me and my brother, we own Actually, it's between me, my brother, and my mum who own the bikes. This is one of my mum's. She owns it. She can't ride it, but she owns it because she loves it. But yeah, so my brother's just bought a new one. I say new one. It's 1982 or 1984, I think it is. But I'm going to feature that on a future vlog. It's a 2-stroke. So we're going to have our first 2-stroke on the vlog. So, should make a good video, I hope.
Yeah, anything old will always make a good video. But while you've just said about 2-strokes, did you hear about Kawasaki bringing back the KX off-roaders 2-strokes? They're supposed to be remaking them.
See, I was really hoping it was going to be so over abroad they have a 150. Is it a KLR? Yeah. KLR 150. And it's these ones that you see getting drag raced in like Malaysia and Indonesia and stuff. They're rapid little things. And when they teased about a 2-stroke coming out, I was like, please be a road bike. Please. But I guess, I don't know, on emissions, I guess they can't get a road 2-stroke out these days. But, you know, even a KX is better than nothing, innit?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like I say, I had AR50 and TZR 250, so my first road bikes were both 2-strokes. And I just, even if a cheap 2-stroke moped goes past me or something like that, some cheap runaround, if he's got blue smoke coming out the exhaust, my window is straight down on the van. I've got my head out trying to smell the 2-stroke.
Yeah, people of a certain age love the 2-strokes, don't they? They say, I just love the smell of them.
Yeah. And I feel sorry for anyone who hasn't experienced one. Because, I mean, I got my TZR 250, I was 17 when I was riding that on the road. And when a power band kicks in on a 250 at 17, you're like... yeah, it was... it's like having a turbo, isn't it, basically? Yeah. None of me 4-strokes quite do that, but you can get a lot of 4-strokes with character, can't you? It almost makes up for it.
Yeah, you can, yeah. I mean, this bike I'm on here, this Kawasaki, it's an inline 4. It's just so smooth, and you can be in 5th gear by the time you do 30 miles an hour. Whereas that Ducati Diavel, which is a V-twin, if you're in the wrong gear for more than 1 second, it's just clonk, 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 clonk. So, they all do have their own character still, but I think a 2-stroke over a 4-stroke, there is a kind of a big difference, isn't there, like you say? So
yeah. I did a track day at Rockingham, and I'd been riding my Triumph T595 on the road, and I got this offer of a track day, so I went on it, and I borrowed one of the race 80 bikes. So it was the Honda RS125 chassis, the GP chassis, but they were putting CR80 engines in them. A guy called Steve Lawton was doing it, and so I borrowed this bike. I think I paid about £100 to borrow it for the session, which was pretty decent, to be fair. That was just the cost of piston and rings. And I remember going out in the first session, and literally, if that thing dropped away from the power, it just died. There was no pull at all, and you'd be banging it down not banging it, nursing it down the gearbox as quick as you could to get back into the power band. But yeah, once you kind of get used to that way a 2-stroke ride, you just got to keep them screaming.
Yeah.
Have I just cut you off there?
Sure.
So this is where our mesh kicks in, and it'll still keep us connected even with a bit of distance.
Yeah, I'm back with you.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining us on the vlog today.
No, I've enjoyed it.
About bikes with you and seeing your bikes, and it's time for a coffee and get this edited now.
No, it's been really enjoyable. Thanks for having me on here. I do appreciate it, and I always enjoy coming up to MyMoto and having a look round, so we can come in and pick a few bits up which we need now.
We'll have to get on join us on another ride out again.
Yeah. Like I say, any excuse to get out on a bike.
That's awesome. Right. Okay, so Nathan's just gone. I'm going to show you some of the new products we got in the shop, so the new S1 stuff. We've got Andy here, who's come to visit as well.
which hopefully we're gonna get Andy on the vlog in maybe next week. Who knows? Let's see when we can get him on. But he's had some interesting bikes in his time, especially when he was younger. So, new products. We've got the new RST S1 suit with a Floor Yellow. So they did do the Floor Yellow in the textiles on like the old Sabres and things and the jackets, but this is now on the leathers, so on the one-piece suit. Looks awesome, goes really well with like Yamaha MT10s. And like I say, it was already on the leather jacket anyway. So this was the previous jacket. We've also got the S1 leather jacket in all black. So this is new. Great if you want something that's like a little bit of a sporty jacket. So we've got the TPU shoulder cups. You've got kind of that sports jacket, but you could ride a retro or a classic in it and it wouldn't look too out of place because we haven't got any colours. It's all just plain black leather jacket. Still waiting for a few other new things to come through as the year goes on, so I'll keep updating you on new stocks and new products. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching the show. Remember, please like, subscribe, leave us a comment. We love the interaction with our followers. And if you would like to support the channel, all we ask is that you come and have a look at the stock we've got. So if you're passing the shop, come and have a look, or go online. We've got two websites, mymoto-uk.com or dstoremanchester.co.uk. Thank you for watching. Until next time, ride safe.